Möngke Khan, born Möngke, was the fourth great Khan of the Mongol Empire, ruling from July 1, 1251, to August 11, 1259. He was the first great Khan from the Toluid line and made significant reforms to improve the administration of the empire during his reign. Under Möngke, the Mongols conquered Iraq and Syria as well as the kingdom of Nanzhao. Early life. Möngke was born on January 11, 1209, as the eldest son of Genghis Khan's teenager son Toluid and Sorgatani. Teb Tengri Kokyu, the powerful shaman, saw in the stars a great future for the child and bestowed on him the name Möngke, eternal, in the Mongolian language. His uncle Oged's childless queen Anki raised him at her order. Oged instructed Persian scholar Ididan Muhammad to teach writing to Möngke. On his way back home after the conquest of the Khwarezmian Empire, Genghis Khan performed a ceremony on his grandsons Möngke and Kublai after the first hunting in 1224 near the Ili River. Möngke was 11 years old, and with his brother Kublai killed a rabbit and an antelope. The grandfather smeared fat from the killed animals onto the middle fingers following the Mongol tradition. In 1230, Möngke went to war for the first time, following Oged Khan and his father Toluid into battle against the Jurchen Jin dynasty. Toluid died in 1232, and Oged appointed Sorgatani head of the Toluid appanage. Following the Mongol custom, Möngke inherited at least one of his father's wives, awful Korimish of the Irat clan. Möngke deeply loved her and gave special favor to her elder daughter, Shirin. Oged dispatched him along with his relatives to attack the Kipchaks, Russians, and Bulgars in the west in 1235. When the most formidable Kipchak chief, Bakhmin, fled to an island in the Volga Delta, Möngke crossed the river and captured him. When he ordered Bakhmin to bend down on his knees, Bakhmin refused and was executed by Möngke's brother Bujek. Möngke also engaged in hand-to-hand combat in the sieges of Russian cities, while his cousins, Shiban and Buri, went to Crimea. Möngke and Kadan, a son of Oged, were ordered to reduce the tribes in the Caucasus. The Mongols captured the Alani capital Magaz and massacred its inhabitants. Many chiefs of the Alans and Circassians surrendered to Möngke. After the conquest of Europe, Möngke would bring them back to Mongolia. He also participated in the conquest of Kiev in 1240. Möngke was apparently taken by the splendor of Kiev and offered the city's surrender, but his envoys were killed. After Batu's army joined Möngke's soldiers, they sacked the city. He also fought alongside Batu at the Battle of Mohi, in the summer of 1241, before the premature end of the campaign. Möngke returned home after his uncle Oged recalled him in the winter of 1240–41. However, Oged died. In 1246, Temujin Ochaigan, Genghis Khan's sole remaining brother, unsuccessfully tried to seize the throne without confirmation by Kurultai. The new Khagan Gulyuk entrusted the delicate task of trying Ochaigan to Möngke and Ordar Khan, the eldest brother of Batu. Gulyuk eventually died en route to the west in 1248 and Batu and Möngke emerged as main contenders. The Tolerant Revolution. Following his mother Sorgatani's advice, Möngke went to the Golden Horde to meet Batu, who was afflicted with gout. Batu decided to support his election and called a Kurultai Alaq, the leader of the families of Genghis Khan's brothers, and several important generals, came to the Kurultai. Gaik's sons Naki and Kolya attended briefly but then left. Despite vehement objections from Bala Kaimish's scribe, the Kurultai proved Möngke. Given its limited attendance and location, this Kurultai was of questionable validity. Batu sent Möngke under the protection of his brothers, Burka and Tukatima, and his son Sartak to assemble a formal Kurultai at Kodo Aral in Mongolia. When Sorghutani and Burqa organized a second Kurultai on July 1, 1251, the assembled throng proclaimed Möngke the Great Khan of the Mongol Empire, and a few of the Oghidid and Chagatai princes, such as his cousin Kadan and the deposed Khan Kara Hulagu, acknowledged the decision. Shortly thereafter, Araful's son Kolya and Oghid's favorite grandson Shiaman came to pay homage to Möngke as the new ruler, but they brought the entire army of the Oghidi faction with them. Monks Kankale Falconer Kashig discovered the preparations for the attack and told his lord. At the end of the investigation under his father's loyal servant Mengiz Anoyan, he found his relatives guilty but at first wanted to give them mercy as written in the Great Jasa. Monk's officials opposed it and then he began to punish his relatives. The trials took place in all parts of the empire, from Mongolia and China in the east to Afghanistan and Iraq in the west. Möngke and Batu's brother Burqa therefore arranged to have Offal accused of using black magic against Möngke. After she was arrested and questioned by Sorghutani, Offal Kaimesh was sewn up into a sack and tossed into a river and drowned. The traditional Mongol punishment for using black magic. Estimates of the deaths of aristocrats, officials, and Mongol commanders include Elgigadi, Yesu Möngke, Buri, and Shiaman, and range from 77 to 300. Most of the princes of Genghisid blood involved in the plot, however, were given some form of exile. The anti-Möngke plot of the Nugur scribe Bala and the Edict Salindi was discovered and they were publicly executed. After his accession to the throne in 1251, Möngke announced that he would follow his ancestors but would not imitate the ways of other countries. To increase his legitimacy, in 1252 he retroactively awarded his father the title of Great Khan. Möngke shared the western part of the empire with his ally Batu Khan, ensuring the unity of the empire. Möngke's mother Sorghutani died in 1252. After the defeat of the Oghidid and Chagatai families, Möngke eliminated their estates and assigned acquiescent family members new territories either in Turkestan or in northwest China. After the bloody purge, Möngke ordered a general amnesty for prisoners and captives. In another move to consolidate his power, Möngke gave his brothers Kublai and Hulagu supervisory powers in North China and Iran. Rumors spread that his brother Kublai founded a de facto independent ULUS and perhaps took for himself some of the tax receipts that should by rights be coming to Karakoram. In 1257 the emperor sent 2 tax inspectors to audit Kublai's official. They found fault, listed 142 breaches of regulations, accused Chinese officials, and even had some executed. Kublai's office was abolished. Möngke's authority took over the collection of all taxes in Kublai's estates. As his Confucian and Buddhist advisors pointed out, Kublai first sent his wives to the court of Kaghan and then appealed to Möngke in person. They embraced in tears and Möngke forgave his brother. Mongol imperialism. Möngke drafted his own decrees and kept close watch on the revision. Möngke forbade practices of extravagant costs of the Borjigin and non-Borjigid nobles. He also limited gifts to the princes, converting them into regular salaries, and made the merchants subject to taxes. Möngke limited notorious abuses and sent imperial investigators to supervise the business of the merchants who were sponsored by the Mongols. He prohibited them from using the imperial relay stations jam and pieces, tablets that gave the bearer authority to demand goods and services from civilian populations. With Guyuk dead, many local officials no longer wanted to pay off the paper drafts used by Guyuk. Möngke recognized that if he did not meet the financial obligations of Guyuk, It would make merchants reluctant to continue business with the Mongols. Möngke paid out all drafts drawn by high-ranking Mongol elites to these merchants. Arta Malikuvaini stated, and from what book of history has it been read or heard, that a king paid the debt of another king? The generals and princes who allowed the troops to plunder civilians without authorization were repeatedly punished by Möngke Khan. He used North Chinese, Muslim, and Uyghur officials. The Khagan's chief judge was the Jalaiya official Mengiza, while the chief scribe was the Bafai of the Karaites, who was a Christian. 9 of the 16 chief provincial officials of Möngke Khan were certainly Muslims. He reappointed Gayak's 3 officials, Mahmud Jalavach in China, Masood Beg in Turkestan, and Arghun Aga of the Irat in Persia. Möngke separated the position of the great judge at court from that of chief scribe. In 1253, Möngke established the Department of Monetary Affairs to control the issuance of paper money in order to eliminate the over-issue of the currency by Mongol and non-Mongol nobles since the reign of Great Khan Ogedei. His authority established united measure based on sucre, a silver ingot. However, the Mongols allowed the foreign subjects to mint coins in the denominations and use weight they traditionally used. During the reigns of Ogedei, Gulyuk, and Möngke, Mongol coinage increased with gold and silver coinage in Central Asia and copper and silver coins in the Caucasus, Iran, and Bulgaria. In 1252–59, Möngke conducted a census of the Mongol Empire, including Iran, Afghanistan, Georgia, Armenia, Russia, Central Asia, and North China. While the census of China was completed in 1252, Novgorod in the far northwest was not counted until winter 1258–59. There was an uprising in Novgorod against Mongol rule in 1257, but Alexander Nevsky forced the city to submit to the Mongol census and taxation. The new census counted not only households but also the number of men aged 15 to 60 and the number of fields, livestock, vineyards, and orchards. Within the civilian register, craftsmen were listed separately, while in the military registers auxiliary and regular households were distinguished. Clergy of the approved religions were separated and not counted. When the new register was completed, 1 copy was sent to Karakoram and 1 copy kept for the local administration. Möngke tried to create a fixed poll tax collected by imperial agents that could be forwarded to the needy units. Initially, the maximum rate was fixed at 10–11 gold dinars in the Middle East and 6 to 7 taels of silver in China. Protests from the landlord classes reduced this relatively low rate to 6 to 7 dinars and taels. Some officials raised the top rate on the wealthy of 500 dinars. While the reform did not lighten the tax burden, it made the payments more predictable. Even so, the census and the regressive taxation it facilitated sparked popular riots and resistance in the western districts. In 1259, the Georgian king David Naran revolted unsuccessfully against the Mongols and then fled to Kutaisi, whence he reigned over western Georgia as a de facto separate ruler. In 1261, he gave shelter to David VII Ulu, who had later attempted to end the Mongol dominance. David Ulu made peace with the Mongols, however, and returned to Tbilisi in 1262. Möngke and Batu's official Arghun harshly punished the Georgian and Armenian nobles, plundering the cities and executing the prominent leaders. He divided the Georgians into 6 tumans. Meanwhile, Baidu crushed the rebellion of the Seljuk Sultan Kaykas II near Ankara in 1256 and re-established Mongol authority over eastern Turkey. By the time the Kashmiris had revolted, Möngke appointed his generals, Sali and Takuda, to replace the Khotana Buddhist master, Otochi, as Dafachi to Kashmir. However, the Kashmiri king killed Otochi at Srinagar. Saleh invaded again, killing the king, and put down the rebellion, after which the country remained subject to the Mongol Empire for many years. Religious policy. Möngke confirmed Gayak's appointment of High Highness chief of all the Buddhists in the Mongol Empire in 1251. In 1253 Namo from Kashmir was made chief of all the Buddhist monks in the empire. During the conquest of Tibet in 1252–53, all Buddhist clergy were exempted from taxation. The Tibetan Karma Pakshi received monks' patronage. Möngke had been impressed by the aged Taoist monk Qiyutuji, who met his grandfather Genghis Khan in Afghanistan. Möngke made Li Zhichang chief of the Taoists. However, the Taoists had exploited the wealth and status by seizing Buddhist temples. Möngke demanded that the Taoists cease the denigration of Buddhism. Möngke ordered Kublai to end the clerical strife between the Taoists and Buddhists in his territory. Kublai called a conference of Taoist and Buddhist leaders in early 1258. At the conference, the Taoist claim was officially declared refuted, and Kublai forcibly converted the 237 temples to Buddhism and destroyed all copies of the fraudulent texts. Despite his conquests of the Abbasid Caliphate and the Ismailist, Möngke favored Muslim perceptions. He and Hulagu made the Shiite community at Najaf an autonomous tax-exempt ecclesiastical polity. Like his predecessors, he exempted clerics, monks, churches, mosques, monasteries, and doctors from taxation. During Möngke's reign, the French King Louis IX sent William of Rubruck as a diplomat seeking an alliance with the Mongols against the Muslims. By the time Möngke's cut and offal Korimish was already dead. After making the French envoy wait for many months, Möngke officially received William Rubruck on May 24, 1254. Rubruck informed him that he had come to spread the word of Jesus Christ. Then he stayed to help the Christians in Karakoram and attended debates among rival religions organized by the Mongols. Möngke Khan summoned William Rubruck to send him back home in 1255. He told Rubruck, "We Mongols believe in one God, by whom we live and die." He then continued, "Just as God gave different fingers to the hands, so has he given different ways to men. To you God has given the scriptures and you Christians do not observe them." He explained God had given the Mongols the shamans. Möngke offered Louis IX his cooperation but warned all Christians that, if, when you hear and understand the decree of the eternal God, you are unwilling to pay attention and believe it, and in this confidence you bring an army against us, we know what we can do. Ambassadors from the Latin Empire and the Empire of Nicaea came to the Mongol court to negotiate terms with Möngke Khan as well. In 1252, King Hethum I of Lesser Armenia began his journey to Mongolia. He brought many sumptuous presents and met with Möngke at Karakoram. He had an audience with Möngke on September 13, 1254, advised the Khagan on Christian matters in Western Asia, and obtained from Möngke documents guaranteeing the inviolability of his person and his kingdom. Hethum asked the Khagan and his officials to convert to Christianity. In reply, Möngke explained that he wished his subjects to truly worship the Messiah, but he could not force them to change the religion. Möngke also informed Hethum that he was preparing to mount an attack on Baghdad and that he would remit Jerusalem to the Christians if they collaborated with him. Hethum strongly encouraged other crusaders to follow his example and submit to Mongol overlordship, but he persuaded only his son-in-law Boumandvi, ruler of the Principality of Antioch and County of Tripoli, who offered his own submission sometime in the 1250s. The armies of the Armenian Kingdom of Cilicia and Boumandvi would assist Möngke's army in the west soon. Mongol shamans played an important role in the court and sometimes influenced the war preparation.